that we would have had to have paid the daily leasing cost to keep the harvester on the farm until that harvest was complete. That's looking at an expense that maybe I can avoid by having this. Now obviously the opposite of that is this is now sitting on the farm after October doing nothing, so it's money buried into a piece of equipment that's just sitting around looking pretty on the farm. The tractors we are pretty much using all of the time, so I'm not too concerned with I'm not too concerned with having tractors in the fleet that I can use. But if I have two tractors that can do the same job and I don't have the same job to do in two separate places with the equipment in two sets of equipment, it's a waste, at least for now. And you'll have to excuse me, I need to I'm going to need to take a quick break, but what I'll do is I'll get to the, we're going to empty, aren't we? Yes, I see you, bug, you're going to die. Okay, I'm going to set this empty and then I will take a quick break. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Stink bugs are annoying. Okay, so we are 100% full in the tractor. And the harvester's the other direction. Still full 42%. So hopefully there is enough capacity in the rest of this to pull the rest of this crop. So yeah, starting tractors are always difficult, but I think it depends on the farm you're running. I'm scared. I see you're scared. So for example, turning the microphone, yes. If you're doing something like the old stream farm small tractor, you can probably get away forever with, you know, something about mid 100 horsepower, maybe even less. We're doing one with, I think, about 150 horsepower, 3 tractors of 150 horsepower, assorted manufacturers. But you don't need anything bigger on that map. This map has some big fields. You're probably never going to need a 4-track or a Class 9 tractor. Just too big. Full Guys 8, hi, welcome to the stream. But if you're doing, say, a big American track, a big American map, Welker Farms or something like that, then you're probably going to want to get bigger equipment quite quickly, and so your consideration should be your starting tractor is going to be on the larger side, or you know, and you may be getting something that can do tractoring, and then you're going to need a skid steer or a telehandler or something to do any loader work, because the big tractor just can't support the loader arms. This is single player only, I'm afraid, Full Guys, but thanks for asking. If you want to ask questions, you can. I am not a farmer. In the real world, I am a computer programmer, so I understand how programs work. I understand how the game works from a programming point of view, not necessarily from a realism point of view. I watch YouTube channels to learn how real-world farmers do things, so I try to be as realistic as possible within the confines of the game. But nonetheless, welcome to the stream, and we're here pretty much every Saturday plus holidays. Did I change the drive? I did. So we have 2 tractors full plus the harvester. Well, it is what it is. I figure we can probably take the entire convoy down to the BGA and then trek across the road with the grain carts to drop off. No, this is specifically a single player game. I play on Saturday mornings for fun, and I share my my game with people who want to watch. In the past, I have done multiplayer farms. However, real life got in the way, so I don't stream on other days. This is the one day I stream because everybody else in the house tends to wake up later. Although we are getting close to the end of today. What is the time? We have been running 2 hours, 40 minutes. We'll probably go another 20 minutes. Make it a 3-hour approximate stream. And we'll have... Oh, that's so annoying. Oh well. Off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to extricate that from the corner while we're in it. Okay, which tractor should I go to? I think probably the Deutz is a good one to pick. The map is this is Maypole by Cavalier Roy. This series actually a long, you know, I typically, my Saturday stream is once I find a map, we play that map until Farm Sim Next Edition comes out. So this particular playthrough, as I said, single player, will run until about spring of 2025? Yeah, probably spring of 25 if we get Farm Sim 26. 24. 24. If we get Farm Sim 24, this will run till spring of 25. And the reason for that is I like to wait for a map that kind of inspires me. So, and we tend to be fairly... I tend to be fairly particular with what mods I add to a game. So, did I want to turn left there? No. Do I want to turn left here? Yes. We're playing precision farming. We're playing with seasons. We've always played the Saturday stream with seasons. Farm Sim 17, Farm Sim 19 were Realismus seasons, which in some aspects I kind of prefer. But Giants have done a good job of making seasons playable in the base game, so I'm happy with that. As I said, precision farming. So I wait until specific things are introduced into the game before I switch over to the new game for the Saturday stream, and then I need to find a map that it looks like I will be happy playing for 2 years. Because, as I said, long-term series. Our last series was Oakfield Farm on Farm Sim 19, and we were pushing 1,500 sheep every year. I'd sell half of them, and the following year I would have 1,500 sheep for the following year. So, kind of... We have big aspirations. I haven't decided what the goal on this map is. We're playing with Maize Plus, which makes feeding animals kind of tricky. And this I am going to have to tipside grain door. Okay. Now, reason for switching to grain door is it should tip lower, so we won't hit the roof. This is a bigger trailer than the other one. Does tip slower doing that, but there we go. That's the full tip angle. We're not going to break anything. Pretty sure if I did grain door, tip side back, it would just hit the roof and cause issues. Probably going to stick the other trailer on grain door too, although it has the one. Slow tipping. Anyway, I think we covered the topic of starting tractors when you're starting a new map. Does anyone else have any other questions? Or shall I just ramble about stuff for a while? Okay, that's done. Oh, we are 90%. Well, I'm not surprised we're 90% done, considering you just don't need to go that far, okay? Change that to tip side back. Should probably put a second grain door on this one as well, just so it tips faster. But yeah, for the people that didn't know, good way of working on maps like this which have very low roofs, use the grain door. Favourite tractor band and favourite tractor overall? I don't really have a favourite brand. For this series I did decide we are going to include a John Deere because I've never included a John Deere. I've tried to shy away from Valtras because I always use Valtras. My decisions on equipment tends to be, let's try and use something I haven't used yet. Although that said, I am really liking this Deutz. It's not a brand I've really used much. I think I used the baler ones, but nothing else. And it's just so versatile for what we need. I mean, as far as mods are concerned, actually, I will say my favourite tractor is this one. It's a 1000 series Agco, which you can do as a challenger, and I just like this one. You can get it in, what's that, gens and Fent. So 3 options on this. I just happen to like the challenger. It's different, and I prefer. I'm not a fan of these tractors, just because the way they implement in the game. If you're turning the wheels when and pushing the accelerator, they can just freeze up and just not go anywhere, because half the wheels are going backwards and the rest are going forwards, and it's just like, we're stuck. Okay, as promised, I think I'm going to take this into the store parking lot and we'll abandon it there. I don't think I need much more than the Deutz. But I like Valtras, and have featured them quite frequently on most of the series. And I think an argument for that is the Valtra N makes for a good starting tractor. It's 205 maximum horsepower. You've got all of the wheel choices. You've got front power. I stuck. And it's just very versatile. And you could accuse me of overindulging in Valtra Ns when I start a new farm. Because we didn't get the Valtra N in Farm Sim 22, I did look up and decided that, well, the Class Axion 600 is the equivalent of a Valtra N. It has all of the engine options, front loader options, wheel options, just all of the stuff that you would look for in a starter tractor, in a small package. I mean, both of them are small tractors, so they have short frames, and so it makes them far more agile on a small farm as well. But as such, I then look at them and say, they have so much utility, I don't want to... I don't want them to be my... I don't want a go-to tractor. So that's the thing. And I know a lot of people like John Deere. And as I said, I've avoided John Deere for the last few years. In Farm Sim 17, Smetty CMT Software produced the Axion, the Class Axion 900. He produced a couple of class things. We had a Class Lexion on the farm. We really featured class. And then for Farm Sim 19, Giant said, hey, we're adding class as an official brand. We did include one, but I kind of, we featured so much of them the previous time. I wanted to do something different. Okay. We will empty that, which means the engine needs to be on. My Christmas was not the greatest. I did mention something, I believe, in one of the streams last week, and that's as far as I'm going into things. Anyway, get this emptied. I probably don't need to fold in the doodad. But yes, I think my vehicle brands I'm I don't have loyalty to, except maybe Saab cars. But outside of that, I'll use what's appropriate for the job, and I will generally I try to avoid duplication if at all possible. I'd probably shy away from Stare and what's the other one? Zetor or Zeta, for no particular reason, but I just don't. But that said, I ended up doing one series, Farm Sim 19, I think. I did one series that just had Zeta. Because I kind of figured, you know what, I just never use these, and it's a Polish map, so it's kind of a typical vehicle for the map region. I think, I try to use equipment that is region appropriate when possible. So if I'm using a truck, this map is Irish, so we'd be looking at European trucks if I bought a truck. If I'm playing, if I am playing, say, I need to turn that off first. I am playing an American map, I will use American style vehicles, just because, again, more appropriate. With farm equipment, it tends to be a little more difficult. We're using Anderson bale loaders, which technically I believe are Canadian and North American. They're not British, but I don't have the option of a British one. We're using, however, that said, the X-Tractor I have is also Anderson, but I know that Kuhn do a variant, identical model. So it's, the equipment tends to be a little bit more limited in options. I like Calmsden Farm. Calmsden Farm is a very nice map, and I didn't play it because everybody on YouTube at the time was playing it. So I was watching them play it. It was sort of, I tried to start a couple of personal games, and it never really, sort of grabbed my soul and said, yeah, this is awesome. I need, I've got plans here. It was just sort of, I'm trying out the game. And it's a beautiful map, but I kind of need some inspiration. I need some idea of where the farm is going. On this map, the animal husbandries support 1,000 animals, so I could have 1,000 cows in one shed. I could have 1,000 pigs in one shed. Obviously not horses, but pretty much everything else you can load as 1,000 of. Now, obviously, the last map I played, Oakfield Farm on Farm Sim 19, there were 3 fields on the farm which supported 500 sheep in each. So our goal became, hey, let's grow 1,500 sheep. And that's what happened with, that was the be-all and end-all of that farm. Let's try and make as many sheep as we can and see how much money we can make from sheep. Frankly, you don't make a lot of money from sheep, but they are a good solid income. So there is that. I think I've decided we made 3,472. Good. Oh, we're already up to 65,000. So we made some money here before we even claimed the contract, which we will do right now. Harvest canola collect, and 73,000. That's good. I'm going to check store sales. I don't expect anything new. Oh, something new. 135 horsepower. See, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Oh, it's got the Asaria Compact Pro installed already. So that's a thing. It doesn't have GPS, it doesn't have a front loader, it's got standard wheels. I would probably drop those to narrows if possible. And that could make a fairly good $45,000. That would be a good spraying tractor. However, I'm not looking for one with an Asaria Pro installed. I was looking for one with a front PTO, and we could attach the individual one, the one that comes off, so we can use it on any tractor we choose. Anyway, so let us follow the deer. But yes, okay, so surprise piece of equipment. And like I said, if we didn't have a piece of equipment with crop sensors installed, that could be a good choice. I mean, it's big enough to haul a sprayer around behind it, or lots of things. You could even use it with the front and back mounted sprayer and auxiliary tank. But yeah, our farms kind of moved beyond that particular tractor, so I'm going to skip that one. Also, if it's got auxiliary equipment on it, like the Asaria Pro, if I take that off, it doesn't make the tractor cheaper. So you might as well, if a tractor has stuff on it, just buy it with the stuff on it, because you're not going to save money by removing it. So that one, no front loader attacher, that's going to cost me extra if I wanted front loader arms on it. But if it already had them, bonus. And that's where our Massey Ferguson 5S came in, was it had the loader arm attachment and the let me slow down there because I thought he wouldn't do that. Oh, and there's another one. But yeah, the Massey Ferguson was fully configured for front loader work, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So it's a thing. Now, for those of us who missed it last week, I have deleted our house that we were originally living in. The area behind the fence used to be our house. I demolished that last week. I installed the fence to completely close this field off from the road. But we opened up the hedges in that bottom left corner, or the far left corner from us, so that there is access from the farm track directly from our yard. I have left the engine on the harvester. That's annoying. Anyway, not to worry. Find out, dears. So these trailers I'm leaving in our arable yard, which is recently purchased and just down the road here. And we moved into the bigger house next door because it's bigger and just bigger. Bigger house, pretty house. So it looks like, from comments I've seen this week, it looks like Court Farm is closer to release, which is Oxygen David's second British map. Not sure what's going on with Bullet Bill, who's also producing a map for Farm Sim 22. I guess we'll see what that brings later. and then we'll turn that AI worker off. I'll check the inches. We're good. It'll be interesting to see what Court Farm looks like. I am looking forward to it. I fully expect an awful lot of YouTube videos on it. So again, I might not get